Hey guys, Andre here. So as you can probably tell, this video is going to be a little different than usual. This video is not scripted at all. I have some bullet points here, but that's all I have going off of. And I don't even know what I'm going to use for the video yet. I might just use generic footage, I'm really not sure. Because for one, I don't have much time to put into this video, there's so much for us to cover still. Especially because I don't know how long this video is even going to be relevant for. Because Nintendo could announce what I'm going to talk about, you know, any day here, and just ruin whatever chance this video has. In short, I want to figure out what the last Mario Kart 8 retro track is going to be. And I say last one because we already know what 13 to the 16 are for sure, and we're pretty sure we know what the final two are as well, based on the Sunshine Airport sign confirming that Yoshi's Valley and Sherbet Land from the GameCube will probably be tracks here as well. So that would leave one track left. I want to figure out what it could be based on our observations we made with a selection of retro tracks in past Mario Kart games. But I noticed there were some patterns there, and I think it might correlate to how it's going to work here as well. Now real quick, I've already tried making this video like 4 or 5 times, and I had so many bullet points, it was just taking forever to get through, and it was probably just going to be a boring mess. So I've whittled it down to the main points, and why I think it confirms the final retro track. Now again, these are just my observations, I'm sure there's some things I missed, and who knows if this is at all accurate, but this is for fun, and it'd be cool to see if I end up being right. Okay, so here's the thing with retro tracks. Up to this point, including the ones we've seen in Mario Kart 8, Nintendo has not remade a retro track that has already been remade once before. Now that is ignoring the fact that Super Circuit remade all the tracks from the original Mario Kart, but that doesn't really count because that was before they figured out how to do the whole retro thing. So that fact alone, that they won't reuse retro tracks, narrows down this list a lot. Specifically, that leaves only 1 track left in Mario Kart 64, being Wario Stadium, 4 tracks left in Double Dash, being Mushroom City, Wario Coliseum, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road, 6 tracks in Mario Kart DS, being Figure 8, Shroom Ridge, Mario Circuit, Wario Stadium, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road, and a bunch of tracks in Mario Kart Wii, because they've only remade 4 of those so far. So that's still a fair amount of tracks though, so how do we narrow this down? Well, here's one way to do it potentially. Every Mario Kart with retro tracks to date has brought back at least 1 Bowser's Castle, and yet we haven't seen any Bowser's Castles in Mario Kart 8 yet. So if we assume this will be the case for Mario Kart 8 as well, that narrows down the track list a lot. But unfortunately, that still leaves us with a Bowser's Castle from every Mario Kart game except for Mario Kart 64, since there's one in every game that hasn't been remade yet. And that's where our next data point comes in. So ever since Mario Kart DS introduced retro tracks, there's never been more than 4 courses from a single game as part of the Retro Cup. In fact, Mario Kart DS actually had 4 from each of the games prior to it. Now of course that can't ever be the case again because there's so many Mario Karts now. But that track cap has held strong for the rest of the Mario Kart games, as again we've never seen more than 4 tracks from a single one. And that seems to be the case for Mario Kart 8 as well, because if we assume Yoshi's Valley to be a retro course, then that would mean 4 are returning from Mario Kart 64 in total. Now that doesn't tell us a whole lot though, because all the rest of the games represented in Mario Kart 8 are all at 3 tracks or less. But there's another rule here that we noticed. Every past Mario Kart game has always had 4 tracks from the previous generation. So Mario Kart DS had 4 tracks from the GameCube version, Mario Kart Wii had 4 tracks from the DS version, Mario Kart 7 had 4 tracks from the Wii version, and we think that means Mario Kart 8 might have 4 tracks from the 3DS version as well. Especially because the N64 version is already at 4 tracks. Meaning it's actually beating the 3DS version at this point in time, meaning 4 versus 3. And that's never happened before. The previous generations never had to be second fiddle to another game. In fact, it's always matched another generation in terms of track count. So taken all together, specifically that the retro track that will appear here hasn't been used before, will likely be Bowser themed, and that it has to be from Mario Kart 7, well, the only one that fits a bill is Bowser's Castle from Mario Kart 7. Sorry all of you Wario Coliseum fans, but look, it's just one idea I had based on some observations I made. It could be entirely wrong, who knows if Nintendo even follows an official rule set. It could just be this is all coincidence. I mean, it's not like there's a huge history of Mario Kart games to go off of, especially ones with retro tracks. But I do think that one would make a lot of sense, particularly as it already has underwater and flying elements, so it'd be pretty easy to bring up to date from Mario Kart 8. Alright guys, well that's my prediction video, but let me know if you agree with it in the comments below. Do you think it's going to be Bowser's Castle 3DS, or do you think it might be something else? I want to hear your thoughts. Alright guys, well that wraps it up for me here, so thanks for watching, and of course keep an eye on GameXplain.com for much more Mario Kart 8 and other things gaming as well. Alright, thanks guys, bye.